Hey, what's up, you guys? It's your boy Jamar84 here again. And if you haven't noticed, from when you click the video, this video is actually longer than any other video that I've done. Why is it longer? Because I finally got in touch with Miss YouTube. Got my stuff together. We had to, come to an agreement, and some things had to be removed, and some promises had to be made. And so now that my account is in good standing to where I can upload as long as I want to. I'm no longer confined to that 15-minute limit that I used to have. Let me tell y'all, some of probably your favorite reviews and videos of mine are probably, well, not probably, they were so much better before I had to edit some stuff out. There's been some good shade that I have had to take out merely to the fact that, okay, it's either I have to have this or this. And I really want to put them both in there because they work well together, but I have to cut one because of this 15-minute time limit that I had. So, now that I have unlimited access and as much time as I need to say what it is that I need to say, you guys are going to get it all. Okay? Nothing gets held back. But this is going to be a review, obviously, if you see from the title, of episode 6. Is it 6? I hope it's 6. That's what I'm going to put in the title. Of Love and Hip Hop Atlanta. Now, you guys probably noticed, you may have, that I didn't do last week because too much shit was going on last week, and I just couldn't find the time to sit in front of the camera and talk about it. Plus, I didn't even see the episode until much later, so I was just like, you know what? I'll just watch it so that I know what happened in conjunction to this week. So, hopefully that won't have to happen again. So I'll try to keep the schedule going and keep stuff is going on in my life, parallel as well. So we can get on to that. So now, onward to this video. So the episode starts with Mimi and Stevie J meeting up in this restaurant, and even though the premise of this meeting was supposed to be about, Ava, Stevie J and Mimi's daughter, Mimi's like, girl, I already know she says it's about Ava, but I already know he's trying to sit there and be nosy and find out where the fuck I'm living at. And lo and behold, that's exactly what Stevie J wants. Well, that was one of the things he wanted to know about. And then he was asking about the new producer. Like, I heard you got a new man, this, that, and the fourth. And, is he in the music business? And I heard he's walking around looking like me, trying to be like me. And he's in the confessional talking about, so why would you get the second tier when you could be at the top of the castle or some shit, he said. I'm like, Stevie, I mean, you know what? In this case, as long as Nico makes Mimi happy, that's already knocking you out the water, girl, because you making her miserable. As long as she's happy right now, then that second tier, you put at the second tier. You at the bottom, bitch. So, I understand that you're mad. I understand that you're probably a little bothered and upset about it. But, I mean, I can't feel any sympathy for you because you knew what you were doing. You were doing it on purpose, and you didn't give a fuck. So why should she? Stevie J brings up the topic of their little hand tattoo thing that Mimi and him had. I guess she said later that he had the tattoo first and she got it because she was so in love. And the stupid things we do when we first get in love and meet somebody in the whole honeymoon phase. We're just stupid. We do stupid things. We don't think. And listen, I could never put a tattoo, something permanent, on my body with somebody that I just happen to be dating at the time's name, or just something that identifies them with me. I can't do things like that are permanent because you don't have insurance as to what if the relationship goes bad. This is permanent. You have to sit and look at this for the rest of, well, I mean, it's permanent. Like, you could do what Mimi did later on the episode when she was at a tattoo shop and, got it redone. But, I mean, even though you got it redone, girl, you're still going to look at it and remember what it used to look like. Like, no matter what you try to do to it, you're still going to look at it and get the same. It may be different. It may help it a little bit, but let's be real. That's going to be there, and you're still going to think of it as if their old tattoo is there anyway. But whatever makes you feel better. But anyway, back to, I always do that. I always skip ahead when I want to. But anyway, back to what Stevie J was talking about, we always bonded and we're together. If we're not in a relationship, we're always bonded by our daughter Eva. And, here's a toast to having being good parents and doing this. I'm just like, okay, whatever, Stevie. And he's like, I miss you. Stevie J kills me with these lips and these facial. I feel like he be having strokes every episode, mid to light strokes every episode, and his face muscles just don't know how to act, and it's just distracting as fuck. And Mimi just says like, he only says he misses me when things go wrong with Jocelyn, and that's just I mean, I'm glad that she knows that, but a lot of y'all girls need to realize that and stop being played by these dudes who fill your head up and just be like, oh, I miss you, this, that, and the fourth, and they just make you feel good for the moment. When that nigga ain't good for shit. You know that he's gonna go right back and do the same shit that you got mad at him for. But just because that he said something nice, you just distracted him for the moment. You feel like you got a fix. That's pretty much what it is. Like you get a fix from even though somebody that you know is fucked up, that you know is always been giving you all type of heartache, but just because they said something nice, you just feel. That's a whole other video. I'm gonna get too sidetracked. I'm gonna get too sidetracked. So Shay meets Tracy. Never knew that they knew each other, but okay for the show, whatever. And basically, Shay is coming to Tracy talking about how she wants to get payback to Scrappy about making her feel the way that she feels, and she wants him to understand where she's coming from and feel her pain and this, that, and the fourth. And Tracy basically says that that's just not like for what you want for it to really make you happy. You're never gonna get it that way. And I had to agree with Tracy because I believe everybody has been there where they've had a bad relationship and they've been hurt and they want the other person to understand what it was that they did to make us feel this way. We want to, we think we would find comfort in busting the windows out of their car, or egging their car on, or just doing something that would patch the wound, quick patch the wound that they opened from whatever it is that they may have done. And Tracy really put it in perspective, and she said the only way that you can really get over something like that has hurt you emotionally is time. Eventually, it won't hurt anymore. As time goes on, the pain will slowly subside and you'll be over it. I'm sure most of us who are at least of a certain age to be dating, because some of y'all, those of us who are of age to be dating or have had a serious relationship and for whatever reason it goes wrong, for whatever, yeah, like I said, for whatever reason, we want them to feel all types of shit. We just turn evil. But really, like, as time progressed, you just kind of felt like that wasn't the way, that wasn't what you really wanted. You just wanted to be happy without this person, without trying to uh, fuck them over in some kind of weird way. So, and it's always good if you want to get back at somebody, just show them that you moved on with somebody better. Hello. But Shay is like, it don't. Sometimes it be taking too goddamn long, and I be wanting to happen right now. And she's just like, I'm just like, to Shay, this is, at least I see that you're aware. You can't claim ignorance no more. So Tracy done told you now. You may not want it, but that's the answer to your problem. You may not, I know we be wanting things to happen when we want it to happen, but it ain't how it's supposed to be. So let's say, like, this is just a lesson I want you guys to go with. Shit takes time. Trust me, it takes time. Woo. But yeah, Shay, girl, just keep it pushing. At least I'm glad. I was proud of Shay this episode because she's making strides to be the person that we wanted her to be since the season started. Now, this is the part of the episode that I'm going to really just go off on because I got pissed off. I got really irritated watching this, and I couldn't wait to come on the camera. Mainly for the entire episode, I wanted to talk about this part in particular. Okay? And this is when, Rashida sits Kirk down at the little fireplace, got the little ambiance thing going, and, they talk about, I know we have our differences right now, this, that, and the fourth, and uh, I want to do, I have this store, and I wanted to expand it to a physical location um, in Atlanta, and you're trying to get me to get on this diss track with Rashida about K Michelle, and we just not seeing eye to eye right now. And then Kirk's like, yeah, because we got too much going on, and this stuff, too much stuff on the plate that we're trying to worry about a store right now. We got you and our issues, blah, de blah, de blah, de blah, de blah. And he brings up the whole thing about bad timing. So Rashida says, well, it's funny you should say about bad timing because, pregnant. Yeah, me, pregnant, went to the doctor. Confirmed, we're having a baby. And do y'all know that Kirk had the nerve to fix his face and mouth to be like, well, I mean, the timing is just not right. What? What do you mean the timing isn't right? See, this is what I talk about. You, Kirk, have that mindset of black fathers. Unfortunately, I feel like I have to say, because you're depicting this stereotype right now that when they are doing whatever it is in their life and they lay it down with a woman and get her knocked up and don't want to take responsibility and be like, well, now's just not the good time. We ain't finna have no baby right now. It don't work like that. And then he had the nerve to try to take all the blame and be like, well, you should have been taking your pills when I used to wear a condom. Rashida was like, well, there's been plenty of times where we didn't wear a condom. And it's not like I just asexually reproduced this myself. You laid it down with me too, and you were aware that sometimes we don't use condoms, and I sometimes take a break off the pills. So don't even try to sit here and point fingers and shit at me when you halfway responsible for this too. And I'm just like, you can't look at a woman that you laid down with yourself. You made this decision to have sex with this girl. And when you did, you got her pregnant. Just because it doesn't work out for you right now in your little life plan, don't mean that you can just toss that shit like it's a fucking used coupon. And he's in the confession to talk about some, how am I supposed to look at this like a blessing? How am I supposed to be making backflips when we have all these other issues going on? This is a setback. You were the one, as Rashida said, that wanted a child way back in the day, but then you kind of want to deviate from it and to focus on the career, to Rashida's career. But now, when y'all both come together and y'all finally get what y'all want, like I told you, God isn't going to give you things when you want it. He's going to give you things when it's right. So just because it doesn't agree with what you thought the plan was, doesn't mean that it's not right. You don't know what this child is. You don't know what this child could do or what child could bring to your marriage. It could fix these issues. You just never know. But because you're too ignorant not to believe in God's plan, you're going to fuck it up. So I'm done with Miss Kirk. Lord have mercy. We go to Mama D and this freaking EOE cake, okay? EOE standing for end of engagement. Mama D is crazy. Mama D just needs to be put in a psychiatric hospital because she has she's confused. She's deeply confused, y'all. She just thinks that since she is Scrappy's mother, she is supposed to control his emotions. Now, as a mother, your responsibility is to give feedback, teach, okay, lay the foundation, and advise, okay? That's your role as a mother. Once this man is grown, making his own money and making his own decisions, you can, say what you have to say, but that's it. Let him do what he's supposed to do. And just because he's not doing what you want him to do doesn't give you leeway to pick and pry into this man's life and obviously making it worse. Like, she has this cake and then she brought Shay over, okay? And this is when I felt good. I gave Shay a clap because she's like, Mama D brought me over here to talk about this whole Scrappy thing, but she's just like talking about the damn kingdom and trying to bring me into the kingdom now that Erica's out. And I'm like, I'm trying to bring up my own kingdom. Like, I'm trying to get past this. And I was just like, yes, Shay. Yes, Shay. So after that, Scrappy comes in, and he sees the cake and he's like, the fuck is this? And he's like, it's your end of engagement cake. And he's just like, really? Once again, this bitch is thinking about none other than her motherfucking self. Like, this is something that I'm going through that's hurtful. And she's turning it into a freaking celebration. Like I told y'all, Mama D is crazy. She's crazy, y'all. And she's sitting there like, well, I'm gonna do you just like my mama did. And when you tell me to take a step back, I'm gonna take me a step back, and I ain't gonna be there to help you when you fall. Mama D, you said that like at least 3 to 4 times this entire season of I think 1 and 2. Say, oh, I'm gonna take a step back. I'm gonna do what you say, but yet you still find a way to meddle just in a new way, and it's just like Scrappy. I want you to punch your mama out just one good, just one good time. She just needs a good jab to the head to maybe fix whatever is screwed up. The girl just needs to be she just needs help. I just really feel bad for Scrappy because what kind of mother celebrates their son's well, it's not really it's not a divorce, but then it's a hurtful time period for when their son is dealing with heartache, and you're gonna bring the bitch in. That's so we get to the part where Tracy is at the store with Drew and with these interviews for these girls, and looking at them, they all have some things in common. They all have huge tits. They all have fat asses. They all have long weave. They're all beat to the high heavens as far as makeup goes. And Tracy is just like, really? Really, bitch? So they're getting into the whole interviewing, process or whatever. And one of the girls, no, Drew says to one of the girls, "Oh, I noticed that you have a tattoo on your lower back. Can you tell me more about that?" What? Really, Drew? For real, for real? You gonna sit here and ask this question about her tramp stamp in a fucking job interview? Like, is that relevant? And Mimi's, I mean, not Mimi, but Tracy's just sitting here looking at this nigga like, really, dude? For real, for real? And one of the dudes, not one of the dudes, one of the girls worked at Hooters, she said. And Drew was like, oh, okay, can I get some pictures of that? And Tracy was like, don't answer that. Keep going. I'm like, Drew, like, this is not an interview that you're trying to the questions that you're asking are not relevant to can you perform a sale, or what are your interpersonal skills, what communication skills do you have other than the fact that people can stare at you with your big tits. So while Tracy is explaining this to Drew, he's like, saying, what's the problem? He's acting like ain't shit wrong, and girl, and then so while they're having a discussion, one of the other girls, I guess they're conversating amongst each other, and Tracy's like, excuse me, yeah, could you guys keep it down for me? Yeah, thank you. And they go back to talking to Drew, and da 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 da, and that's she's like, you know what? Could y'all just leave? Could y'all just leave? And then one of the girls was like, are y'all two dating? Because, like, the way that I'm looking at it, like, it looks like the way you guys are interacting, you're dating. And then one thing just led to another, and Tracy got called a hater by one of the girls, and she took off her shoes. She was like, this bitch just called me a hater in a motherfucking job interview? And then one of the girls said, do you have a degree? Such and such? Do you even have a degree? I'm like, okay, that may have sounded cute, girl, but let's look at the facts here. If you have a degree, you're the one sitting here trying to get a job in retail. So I'm going to assume that retail was not your major of study. Now, of course, that's no shade to anybody with a degree that's working in retail who feel they have to. But I feel like if you're in a situation where you're at the job interview for retail and you're trying to shade somebody else talking about do you have a degree? Like, you have a degree? I don't see you using it, or you must have a very good degree if you're trying to work in a shoe store. And I'm the one funding the shoe store, so you should be trying to get on my level, trying to talk about a degree. What has your degree done for you thus far? Tracy, I don't know how many more signs you need. I really don't. I don't know what more do you want Drew to do. Do you want him to send you the sex tape that he has with these girls? Like, leave this dude alone. Let his business fall and crumble, and you have nothing to do with it, so you have nothing to say. That way you have no input. You shouldn't have to worry about that. You're worried about the wrong shit. You shouldn't even be bothered with this dude at this point. I feel like if I was you, y'all been separated or not together longer than y'all been together, if I'm not mistaken. So we cut to the next scene where Stevie J is visiting this Shay Mac girl at her house because apparently her house had gotten broken into or whatever. So he comes to the house and she's like, "Oh my God, what are you doing here?" But I'm thinking like, wait, when you said that, the camera shot was coming from inside your house, so you clearly knew people were coming because they got cameras set up in your house. But whatever, it's not scripted, remember? So he comes in and he's talking about trying to figure out what the fuck was going on last night, and he's just like, you look, we went crazy in so many words. You went cray cray, and I'm gonna need you to not do that because ain't nobody got time for that. In so many words, that's what Stevie J said. And she was just like, I'm an aggressive person and this, that, and the fourth. And out of nowhere, she started crying and talking loud like people don't understand this, that, blah, 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 blah. Shay Mac, look, I don't trust you. You look like the type of crazy person that if I left you alone with my loved one, I would come back and my loved one would be decapitated into little small pieces that was built back into an Egyptian pyramid. So I don't really believe too much of what you say. So I'm really not sure why Stevie J is even in your house. But she started to cry, and Stevie J goes into this whole rant about how he hates to see women cry, and I'm gonna assume that whoever broke into her house stole her TV or some type of audio home entertainment system, because he brought her a 42-inch TV. So we join Mimi, well, along with her boyfriend Nico and Arian at this tattoo shop, and she's explaining to the tattoo man how she doesn't want this tattoo anymore. She wants to edit it so that it doesn't remind her of what it used to mean. And really, the only thing I want to say about this particular episode, or not episode, but this particular part, is the fact that Nico, I swear, last episode or when we first saw him, he looked better. For some reason, in this scene in particular, it looks like Father Time fast forwarded 20 years. Like his bone structure looked all old and just was drawn in. I'm like, oh my God, he looks horrid. What happened? Like, at least in the last episode when he came in, he has some kind of, GQ swag going. I just don't know what the fuck. So next we have Scrappy meets up with his dad to talk about, his recent engagement and just his overall issues with the women in his life, aka his friend and his mom and his fiance. And Mama D was actually right when she said that he looks just like his daddy, because they look almost like twins, bitch. But moving on, pretty much what Daddy says is you have to fix the relationship with your mother, because if you don't fix that relationship and getting her together, whatever relationships you do get in, if you get into one after Erica, you're going to run into the same problem. So basically, Mama D is the problem in his life. Go figure, right? But I wanted to see, because I don't think anybody saw this, because I wasn't able to live tweet at the time when the episode was aired. Did y'all see Scrappy's outfit in that diner? It looked like he was wearing a blue shirt with yellow duck pajamas, and with pink, well, I think with pink and white tennis shoes that look like Skechers. I'm like, what's going on with Scrappy's style as of lately? He just looks like he just be throwing anything on these days. A part about that conversation that he had with his dad that actually kind of pissed me off was when Scrappy explained why there were new text messages from new females in his phone at the time after their engagement. And he says that when your woman gets mad at you and tells you that they want to have a break, you go and text other females just to make sure that you still got it. What kind of sense does that make? that is, to me, that is just so disrespectful and stupid. Like, just because your main girl, the one that you really want to be with, just for right now, y'all having problems, you gonna go talk to these other bitches just to make sure that you still got it, or that you trying to reinforce your clientele, as you put it. That is, see, this is, I just can't. These people, these dudes nowadays, they just don't give a fuck. That's why it's hard to find, a meaningful relationship. And those of you who have one, work that shit out. Don't try to patch and patch a wound with other people just to make yourself feel good for the moment, because it's gonna blow right back up in your face, just like it's blowing up in Scrappy's face. So Tracy's sister, Aaliyah, Alia, whatever, however you pronounce her name, she comes to visit, and Tracy's, tells her about the things that happened at the store with the girls that was interviewing with, and Drew and all the other bullshit. And basically, her sister is telling her that, you know what, you don't have to. Well, she was asking him, first of all, like, why are you even in business with your ex? Like, what's the deal with that? And Tracy tells her, or explains to her, that, we're doing this for, little Druzy, their son or whatever. And it'd be a good business thing to have his father around, and, some of that whole bullshit explanation. But her sister's like, you don't have to do or work with your ex just to do something for your son. You are aware of that, right? Like, you could do something on your own, or just, there's just so many other options that you could choose from aside from doing this with your ex. Because as you can see, you can't mix business and pleasure and all that stuff, because look where you're at, But Tracy tried to, I guess, rebuttal in the confessional, talking about some, Drew has a good background in music, so this is just a good investment. Well, how is it working for you thus far? You're sitting here, having given the money and going through this interviewing process, and you're already about to start a fight and raise hell. Like, what do you think it's going to be like trying to run a business day to day? Like, come on, Tracy, see the signs. Now, this is the part that I was dying laughing because this is when, Mimi is feeling herself. She's like, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling good. I got me a new man. I'm in his, new video. I'm just feeling all right. I got my girls with me. Yes. So, she's in the seat getting her hair done. K. Michelle and Arian walk in. And, they're talking, chit-chatting. And she's like, she wants them to hear the song that she's about to be in. So, they vibe, and they're like, oh, okay, they got a nice beat. K. Michelle doing like, hey. And she's like, who is that? She's like, oh, that's Johnny. Johnny? What's Johnny doing over here? And then they're looking like, what? Like, Johnny is clearly gay. I was just like, oh, damn, K. Michelle. Like, y'all should have, ooh, that ain't right. That wasn't even right. She's really like, dude, how is you gonna sit here and rap about women when you are clearly gay? And she's like, she ain't got no problem with gay people or whatever. She has a problem with people who are on the down low. And Mimi is like, I agree, but I don't think that Johnny's gay. And she's in a confessional talk about some, K. Michelle has no right to make those kind of statements. Like, I haven't seen Johnny with anybody but bad bitches. Okay, well, Mimi, let me educate you real quick in Gay 101. If you have reasons to suspect that a person is gay, first of all, K. Michelle and Arian, both your best friends, say that they have gay friends who are mutual friends with Johnny, which is a big sign right there. Not necessarily meaning that the straight man can't have gay friends, but, but men will try to take the baddest bitches, or people who they consider to be, the baddest bitches, as a cover up. Okay? Just because they are with these beautiful women does not mean or equate to them being straight. Because many a times, trust and believe, there have been men who come out who, before they would come out, used to always be seen with the baddest bitches, but we all knew the truth, but we just didn't pay any attention because we thought they was, they're with females who don't see them with men, so they must be doing it. That's a cover up. Just to let y'all know that can be a cover up. That do not be fooled. Okay? Mimi, do not be fooled. So Nico and Johnny come in, mid conversation, and they just kind of they shut up real quick because they didn't want to say anything with him around. And they was like, oh, okay, Nico, you looking nice, so what are you gonna be wearing for the video shoot? And I really forgot what Nico said he was gonna be wearing. And then it was like, Johnny, what are you gonna be wearing? I think he said like a towel or something, and they just cracked up laughing. I'm like, y'all ain't even right. Now I was looking at Johnny. I'm gonna say, Johnny, you look a little suspect just for me looking at you, but I ain't too much the one to pass judgment. But so they get out of that room, and so Johnny comes to K Michelle and is like, basically, if you have something to say, or if my name is being used, I'm gonna need you to come to me and not be talking rumors, something along those lines. And so, K Michelle just like, girl, I ain't too much trying to hear what you're trying to say. If you're gay, just be gay. Just don't be in here trying to rap about women when you're clearly gay. And that's pretty much what K Michelle was like. She was just like, girl, I know you're gay, and I'm gonna need you to just, work that on out. So, so then Nico gets into the situation and is getting all on K Michelle, like, we don't want you in the video. We don't want you to even see the video. Like, you could just leave. I can mess up your career. And I'm just like, Nico, get your life. We don't even too much know you. You aren't even serving any type of sex appeal in this episode at all. Okay? The fact that I could say that Stevie J looks better than you right now does not make you look very good. And while K Michelle is being attacked by Nico, she's just like, dude, don't get mad at me because your coworker is gay. Like, shit, you might be too. And so she leaves off. And Arian is like, you know what? She's gonna try to be the one to clear this air. She's gonna try to be the one to, make everything all right. So she comes back in, tells K Michelle to stay the fuck outside. And she's like, that whole thing about you trying to be or say you gonna mess up K Michelle's career is stupid and juvenile. And she's trying to say like that wasn't the right time. Like there's just different ways she could have handled it. It's basically what Arian was trying to say. And so while Mimi is outside, doing shoots, she overhears that there's some yelling going on, and she can see who it's with, and she comes back in pissed. She's like, I'm tired. Every time I try to do something, it's always overshadowed with some bullshit. Now as she's yelling and she starts off in a general direction, where then she focuses on Arian's direction. Arian is like, bitch, what the fuck you yelling at? You don't try it, bitch. She's like, don't do it. And then, Kate, when they fussing back and forth, Kate Michelle comes and gets Gary like, come on, girl. We're about to leave. And Mimi's still shouting and raving and shit. That's pretty much the episode, you guys. And next week looks like it's going to be even better because Jocelyn and the girl, what's her name? Shay Mack. I'm about to forget her name, y'all. Supposed to get into a fight, and then that whole Rashida and Kirk thing gets more heated up. Can't wait to see that, so I can probably read Kirk again. But that's pretty much the episode, you guys. I don't want to, make the video too damn long. I don't know. You may not like me. You may not like to sit here and watch me for this long. I was used to just watching me for 15 minutes. So leave a comment. I know y'all have something to say about the Kirk comment, about the crazy girl. Just tell me what you guys think about it. And I will see you tomorrow with Bad Girls Club All Star. Bye-bye.